I'm Tilly, I'm a sports therapist and I specialise in ACL rehabilitation. Today's video is a video that I never was sure if I'd create. This is 24 hours before my own surgery to the 2 weeks following my own surgery. I'm going to run you through my 2 surgeries prior to getting my 3rd surgery and why I decided to get it done privately as well. 2 surgeries prior to this, I was told that my ACL was okay, it's just a bit lax, it's doing its job, but the meniscus needed to be trimmed or moved out the way, along with a bony defect on the back of my patella. So I had 2 surgeries, which was pretty similar, which got rid of kind of some locking that I was experiencing in my knee, didn't necessarily deal with the pain and discomfort. That's why I seeked an expert, Mr. Paul Tricker, in London. I had a consultation with him and he just knew exactly what was going on in my knee. He could see from the scan, and I felt like I really trusted him, and I thought if I've got to have a 3rd surgery, it will be with this guy. I carried on for 12 months after that initial consultation and thought I'll really try again with rehab and just keep going, be persistent, but my knee was still giving way. Gradually my life was altering. I was no longer able to walk the dog on the full dog walk, and it was just getting worse and worse. So I kind of said, look, okay, I'll have the surgery, but I need to save up for it. I can't just afford to have private surgery. I started to save up for the surgery. I eventually got there to the amount of money that I needed, and I was kind of like, do I definitely need it? You know, it's a 3rd surgery. How bad is this? And I started to talk myself out of it once I'd got the funds, and my partner was like, you're awake from midnight, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, you're not sleeping because you're in discomfort, you're climbing up and down the stairs like an 80-year-old, you're not walking the dog anymore with us, you know, you're becoming quite isolated, you're not particularly happy, and I really think that you should get this surgery, Tilly. So basically what happened, and I don't really think I've told many people this, but my hand was forced a little bit to get surgery because we'd driven to Scotland, and for some crazy reason we had to go to Scotland and back in a day, which is 6 hours there, 6 hours back. So we'd done the 6 hours there. We left at like 2 in the morning, did what we needed to do. We had the dog with us because we can get dog care. So we walked the dog on like a 6-mile walk, which was silly really, and I was struggling, but I just did it because we needed to walk him. Jeremy was doing other things, so kind of, you know, you take your share, don't you? So I walked the dog, got back in the car to come home. Jeremy was driving kind of this leg of it. We split it up into 3 hours each basically, and it came to me swapping and getting, you know, in the driving seat because Jeremy was tired and needed a break, and I just couldn't get out of the car. My knee was so bad, and I was just like, Jeremy, I'm really sorry, I don't think I can get out this car, get in, I don't think I can drive, like we're gonna have to get a hotel or stay here or do something. And it was just so bad. We eventually got home because Jeremy drove, and I felt terrible. It was no longer just impacting my life, it's impacting like my family now at this point. And the next day I emailed and I booked the surgery, and that was it. So it was kind of, I knew I needed it, but I wanted to put it off as much as I could. But I was also struggling with a sore back. I was getting really terrible nerve symptoms down my right leg, and I knew that the surgery was needed, but I was kind of trying my absolute best to avoid it. In hindsight, do I think that was a good idea? Probably not, no. So let's get into it then. I'm going to show you kind of pre-surgery right through to 2 weeks. I'm going to jump back in because there's bits that you need to know about that I kind of didn't really record. And yeah, I'm going to be full transparent. You're going to see it all, the good and maybe the not so good. Okay. Packed my bag the night before basics, as I really didn't want to stay in. So I thought if I take very little with me, it's extra motivation to get myself home that day. Just moisturiser, charger, spare clothes, deodorant, stuff like that. I measured my knees range of motion the day before as well, the good leg and the bad leg, and made a note of it. And then we headed down to London very early, 2-hour journey in, which was a nice journey, nice and quiet. Heading into the clinic now, went into a waiting room where I had to wait until my room was ready. And then I was shown into my room, which I'm going to let you have a bit of a room tour now. Easily just get up and walk out. Just wear the knee brace for the rest of my life. I hate hospitals. So as you probably saw in some of those videos, my legs were literally shaking, okay? I had to get surgery done just after COVID, or still during COVID, so the COVID restrictions applied. My partner couldn't come in with me, dropped me off and kind of went, you know, to get breakfast, was there super early, as you've probably seen in the videos. And I started to bottle it. So, and again, not many people know this either, actually. And I got really, really scared. I'd seen the anaesthetist and he was like, so these are the type of painkillers you're going to be on afterwards because you're going to be in a lot of pain. And I was like, well, what do you mean a lot of pain? Like, I've had 2 surgeries. He's like, no, this is going to be worse. Like, your bones are getting drilled. And I'm like, I know what ACL surgery is. But, you know, let's not. Okay, I was like, fine. And then Mr. Tricker came in, the surgeon, and he drew on my leg and he drew like where he was going to be making his incision. And I was like, oh, that looks big. What am I doing? Do I definitely need this surgery? By this point, it's like 10 to 8 in the morning, right? Now, I hadn't even got like my gown and stuff on. So I didn't get in the clothes. So I'd unpacked my bag and I was like, seeing the anaesthetist, seeing Mr. Tricker, and I was like, I don't think I can do this surgery. I called Jeremy, right? This is the honest to God's truth of what happened. So I called him and I said, Jeremy, I can't go through with this. I'm packing my bag. I'll meet you outside the doors in like 15 minutes, right? We'll have a nice day in London. I'll wear a knee brace and that'll be it. It'll be fine. We'll never think about this again, okay? He said, absolutely not. That is not happening. He said, you can't live your life the way that you're living it currently. You need this surgery. It will all be okay. I said, no, I'm being serious, Jeremy. Like, come and get me. I'm leaving, right? I will meet you outside in 15 minutes. No, you're not. And they're not going to let you out. You're not going to get out. He said, I've got to go. I'm trying to eat my breakfast. And to be honest, you're giving me indigestion. And he hung up. The first time in all our years, he hung up on me and he wouldn't come and rescue me. And then a lovely, lovely nurse came in. He put his arm around me. He was like, look, I'm going to go out. Here's your stuff. Get it on because you're ready. Like, you're going to be going in a minute. I did get the stuff on, and he came in, he gave me a big dressing gown. He was like, listen, you need this surgery. You know you need it. You told me earlier how bad things are and it's hurting. It'll be fine. And he was like, I'll walk to theatre with you. And this poor guy, honestly, so he walked me to theatre. He came in like the anaesthetist room and the anaesthetist was there. I was shaking like a leaf. They was like, are you cold? I was like, no, I'm just terrified. And within minutes, I was like, you'll just tell me everything that you're doing, won't you? Like, just let me know what you're putting in and stuff. Complete control freak. He said, yeah, I'll let you know. Yeah, I'm just giving you like an anti-sickness. It was not anti-sickness. I was like, I feel like I've had 8 gins. What have you given me? And he's like, oh, it's about to get better than that. And that's all I remember. So thankfully, I made it to the theatre table and I had the surgery. I made it out alive, gang. Here I am, looking slightly worse for wear. Stopped the opioids immediately because they were making me feel very nauseous. Had to take the big bandage off my knee because my knee felt like it was going to explode. I got a lovely lunch put in front of me, but I just couldn't manage any of it. Here I am, just in the room, thinking, how am I going to get myself out of here? My knee was bending really nicely and it was nice and straight, which was really good. I managed to get myself up and mobile, had a walk. Lots of people quite surprised at how well I was able to move, but my knee was really sore before surgery, so this was kind of not as bad, to be honest. It didn't feel as sore. I remember I was out of theatre at 11:30 and I really wanted to get home, so I knew if I walked and had something to eat, I had a better chance of getting home. I managed to get myself dressed and ready to leave for 4:20 in the afternoon. This is now the next day. I'm just trying to bend and extend my knee. Didn't feel too bad, obviously sore, but I know I didn't sleep. I felt like I'd had so much caffeine or something. I just could not sleep through the night. I didn't want to force my bend too much here because obviously I've got stitches in the knee, so I was being more careful than usual. Managed to get up. That was a bit ginger actually. But as you can see from here, my knee is nice and straight. So it's extended fully and it's not looking in too bad of a shape. Nice and straight, as you can see. This is now day 3. I didn't get any content from day 2, but day 3 was really rough and I don't I don't think I made it even downstairs for day 3. My quad was working, I had flexion, I had extension, and that was all I was going to bargain for. Day 4 was much, much better, and as you can see, I was doing baby workouts and able to mobilise myself so much better, getting the knee nice and straight, doing lots of walking drills. Every single day, by the way, I went for a little walk down the road. I was getting slightly frustrated that my knee just wasn't going into full extension just perfectly when I was walking. Tried some baby squats for the first time on day 4 as well, and I managed to climb the stairs leading up with the surgery leg. It was tough. Now at day 5, and from what you're going to watch kind of from now right up to day kind of 13, everything's quite similar. So I'm complexing, I'm doing the exercises regularly, I'm bending the knee as much as I can bend it, and it's day 6. What you see in a moment is when I eventually got on the bike, which felt really, really good, and then I started to do that several times a day. But this is basically, essentially what I did every day. So biked, did the exercises, measured my knee for swelling, the circumference of it, and the flexion, extension. Also just took some, actual circumference measurements of my quadricep and calf. But yes, from this point on, it's just several time lapses of what kind of my workouts look like right up to day 13 until I go back to see my surgeon. Make sure that you do watch all the way until the end, because I show some of my personal frustrations, but also I show some of my absolute top must-haves for post-ACL surgery and making your life much easier. It's just really difficult now. So frustrating because it won't do what I want it to do. And it's just frustrating. I'm doing everything that I can do every day, which causes so much discomfort to not progress. Shit. That was me having a moan because I'm 11 days post-surgery and I couldn't walk with a fully straight knee every time I went out on a walk. I was having a right old down day this day. Didn't quite know how lucky I was and what a positive experience I was having. But we all have down days and it's totally normal. It's about how you react, how you get up and throw a punch the next day 10 times as hard to go and make some progress. A couple of must-haves for pre-surgery. I won't go into this into length because I'm probably going to do a whole new video on this, but number 1 is a muscle stim, so complex machine stim the quads. Number 2 would be a game ready. It can really, really help manage the pain. Number 3, a shower stall. Make sure you've got a shower stall so you can shower for as long as you want and be safe. A limbo leg cover, which covers your leg, keeps it waterproof. And look at nutrition, so trying to tackle anti-inflammatory diet and possibly start taking turmeric shots, which is what I did a month before surgery, and then I've kind of just never stopped taking them. I'll probably do a whole new video on that. Remember, if you like this video, please like and subscribe because it tells me that I should keep doing them, but also follow me on Instagram over at Specialist Sports Therapy, where that is my most active platform.